What's going on, you bunch of hooligans? 10 o'clock. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I am Robert Walsh. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media yesterday where he was asked how the quarterback reps would be split between Cam Ward and Will Levis.
Plenty of opportunities. How those reps get shaken out will sort of be determined by how they perform when given opportunities. That part of it's been thought out. We have a plan in place, and what that looks like is going to ultimately be sort of up to them, and how their performance goes when there's time to perform. So, feel good about the process and the plan in place, and there's going to be plenty of reps for those guys to compete and get better and improve and be ready to play in September.
Brian Callahan is going to be at the install live tonight at the Analog Room at the Hutton Hotel. A handful of tickets are still available, but if you are going and you would like to potentially ask head coach Brian Callahan a question, all you got to do is get a donation in to Home Street Home, send Buck the request, and we will prioritize your question to Coach Callahan. Titans rookie numbers were assigned yesterday. Cam Ward obviously with number 1, Femi Oladejo with 53, and Kevin Winston. Easy for me to say. It's my daggum cat's name. Kevin Winston Jr. with 23. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5. I'm going to hold it forever because Buck was a jerk. The Zone.
Happy install day. We're fired up about it. Looking forward to having 250 of y'all in the house tonight with Coach Brian Callahan, with Greg Cosell, who had a lot of fun in studio with 3HL yesterday, and so many of our other friends from the Zone and A to Z Sports that are going to be hanging out. You guys getting a tape breakdown of your new Titans rookie draft class. There are 15 tickets left for tonight's show. 15 tickets for us to have a third consecutive sellout, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to put on the line. I like the idea of selling out, not just because I am perpetually a sellout by nature, but because it's a nice thing to be able to do what we've done the last couple of years and to help us raise money for the wonderful people at Home Street Home, which we are looking forward to doing again this year. I think that by the end of today's radio show, if we sell 15 tickets, I'm going to make Robert Walsh wear his mumu to the live show and ask Brian Callahan a question.
Now listen.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. That was for the primetime audience. That was something that we did last night on primetime.
They met the standard, by the way.
What did they have to do?
15 tickets were sold, and we told them that they only had to buy 10.
I told them they had to sell it out. I said, y'all got to sell it out, and I will do my mumu
Run the
dance.
tape back. I don't think that's true.
I'll find it. I've run
Explain
the tape
to the
back.
radio audience that is not aware of the fact that you are wearing the clothing of a 60-year-old elderly woman. As you again try to grift and find your way into a nursing home so that you can develop a sugar mama relationship and then live in the lap of luxury for the rest of time.
All right, so I walk around my house naked. Every time I walk in my house, it looks like an alien ray shot me because the clothes, as soon as I walk in, the clothes are just laying on the floor.
Unfortunately for me, who sees you 4 nights a week on primetime in the nude.
Not unfortunate for you. Lucky for you. But what happens is we got some big-ass windows in my house, and when I be trouncing around in my birthday suit, sometimes my neighbors will be walking their dogs or mowing their yard, and the other day my older neighbor
mental image of somebody walking by your home, just 7 a.m. walking the dog, maybe haven't had your coffee yet, and all of a sudden there's you just butt ass naked,
just a neon white hairless pit bull walking on all fours. So Cheyenne decided that I ain't allowed to do that no more. So we went to Walmart. I got me I call it a nightgown.
It's a muumuu.
It's a 5X. They didn't have men nightgown. So I got a 5XL women's nightgown. And it is very comfortable. First night I was like, I ain't wearing this. You can't make me wear this. Second night I'm like, where's my muumuu? Where is my nightgown? So I got a nightgown, and Buck thinks it's hilarious because I look like Petticoat Junction every time I get on the prime time.
Yeah, because you're wearing maternity clothes.
It's not well, it's about to be paternity clothes when I get done with it. About to make a man moo-moo. Man moo.
You look like you belong on Little House on the Prairie.
I do, but that's exactly
As
where
a
I should
milkmaid.
be. I should be in the daggum Dust Bowl, man. That's where I should be. But I guess, okay, listen to this.
All right.
I ain't gonna ask Brian Callahan a question with that moo on.
You are.
Wait, what is the
Regardless of
what
whether
we
we sell
laughing?
out or
Oh,
not.
he looks like a fat woman. Like
Yes.
what do you want? me
Yes.
to
Now,
do?
Bill Lee may swoop down from above and scoop you out of there for cross-dressing, but we'll figure that out after the fact.
Okay. Well, if I'm gonna
We'll
do
get
that,
you a job on the drag bus.
maybe that'll be my disguise then. Either way, if we sell this event out, I will adorn this moo at the Hutton Room or the Hutton Hotel at the Analog Room tonight. If we can sell out.
15 tickets.
Now, you need to send Buck the receipts. I need to see receipts because I will 100% not accept people in the chat going, I bought a ticket, I bought one, and let's see the moo. I'm not doing that.
1045thezone.com is where you go to get those remaining 15 tickets. We're going to ask you, or we're going to remind you throughout the course of the show, all you need is 15 tickets sold to get Bert asking the Titans head coach a question in a mumu. We're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to tonight. I was neck deep in film cut-ups last night because in the past 2 years, I've been able to outsource that to James Foster. And it's not like I don't watch college players in the lead up, but I'm not grinding all 22 college tape of 350, how many combine invitees were there this year? 369 or something like that. Players that could have been draftable or got a draftable grade. I'm not diving that deep into it, but last night I was pulling all the different individual plays from Stanford versus SMU or Texas versus Michigan or Cam Ward versus Syracuse because Brian Callahan is very excited to be a part of the show tonight and has sent a bunch of specific plays that he wants to break down. Cosell sent me a whole list of plays that he wants to break down, and I spent last night cutting up tape as if I was a film room intern or something like that, and my eyes felt like they sunk to the back of my head. But I came away with new perspective on a lot of the players that you've drafted because, I'll be honest, I didn't watch Marcus Harris's tape prior to him being drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the 6th round. Now I have a better understanding of the kind of player that Marcus Harris is. I am a big fan of the Chimere DK experience at Florida last year. Tennessee fans will not be, if you remember that game. He was very effective against you. He had a lot of different plays with a less than ideal quarterback situation in 2024 with Graham Mertz being benched and DJ Lagway coming in and how the offense changed as a result. Alec Iamaner is somebody who is a fascinating watch, and I'm so curious to see Callahan kind of walk through some of the plays that they were running with him at Stanford versus how he might be deployed in the NFL. And I know he touched on that briefly yesterday at his press conference. But, Bert, I think this is the best opportunity all year long for Titans fans who want the most amount of information on their players. Because these are not press conference answers that we're doing tonight. This is a much better, much more involved, much more detail-oriented experience that we have prepared for you guys tonight. And we are going to get into a lot of it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very offensive heavy. No disrespect to Femi Oladejo or Kevin Winston Jr. Didn't really play last year, so there's not a ton of tape from 2024 to cut up on Kevin Winston Jr. Obviously, he's been a collegiate player prior to last season. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been drafted. But we're going to go offense heavy tonight. Understandably so, because we're going to go Cam Ward heavy. And they're not all great plays from Cam Ward. Like, I like that Callahan sent me an incompletion as an example against Syracuse that he had, mostly because the throw that Cam Ward made was insane, even if the play wasn't considered successful because the receiver couldn't hang on to the ball. So we're going to give you guys a very well-rounded experience tonight. We're looking forward to it. And I'm curious to know what questions you most want to hear asked or the questions that you have the most of the head coach tonight, because we are going to give you guys the opportunity, some of you guys the opportunity to ask questions of both Cosell and Brian Callahan. We're going to make you, well, not going to make you, we're going to ask you to donate to Home Street Home in order to have the opportunity to ask those questions, because we still do want to raise some money for charity as best we can. But on the whole, it is going to be something that for me tonight, Bert, the only thing that to put my capital J journalism hat on, the only thing that I'm like hell-bent on finding out tonight is I want more details on the plan for what it looks like to develop a player like Cam Ward. Cam Ward is somebody, when you watch him, he is such a fun evaluation, such a fun college football player, such an effective college football player, but he's still got a lot of rawness to his game. He is somebody who will make pretty coachable mistakes, or mistakes that can be coached or corrected, one would imagine. Again, I'm not a coach, but I would imagine that Brian Callahan feels the same way, or feels strongly about this doing the evaluation of him. You see him make those mistakes that can dig himself into a little bit of a hole, and then he's got the combination of talent, skill, which is different than talent, competitive toughness, and problem solving to dig himself back out of these holes. That Cal game is about as good an experience, an all-encompassing Cam Ward experience, as you would probably be able to find. And at times it's going to frustrate you watching him, and at times you're going to be delighted by him. And I'm so looking forward to kind of picking Brian Callahan's brain about that specifically. Like, all right, talk to me like I'm 12. Help me understand how you view a player like this, or how you go through the evaluation process with a player like this, because it's not like he's the first quarterback to have that kind of an experience, or that kind of tape out there. What's the plan for developing a specific player, though, that comes to the table with these kind of skills, but also needs significant refinements to make sure that he's playing with timing, with rhythm, keeping the offense on track the way that you need to in the NFL, because you're not just going to be able to talent your way out of situations in the National Football League. Sometimes you can, but very rarely. And Cam Ward does have the talent to be able to do that. But more often than not, he's going to have to win in different ways than he did in college. And I'm so looking forward to seeing how Callahan answers that question, how that process begins once we get into rookie minicamp next week. Going to be a great time had by all. We're looking forward to seeing all of you guys there tonight. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to jump in, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is where you can live stream the show. If you are so inclined, you can interact there and give us your comments. I have sent the promotions department, not just Rich Ferris, who is our promotions director, but I've sent the entire promotions department scurrying this morning to print out 9 player evaluations, enough player evaluations so that every table essentially has their own Titans rookie draft guide. So unfortunately, I'm not being the most eco-friendly today. I'm killing quite a bit of trees to make sure that you guys have the necessary material. But these evaluation sheets from Greg Cosell, these things are like gold, baby. I've got Cam Ward, I've got Femi Oladipo, I've got all of them. I've got all 9. Greg went through the process, and even so much to make sure that he had evaluations for the 2 6th-round picks that he had not previously watched, prepared for you tonight specifically, so that you can enjoy that the whole way through. And if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, like I'm going to remind you, 1045thezone.com is where you go. There are 15 still available as of the start of the show this morning. I expect those to be gone by the time we conclude at 1 p.m. today. You can be there live as Cosell breaks down the Titans 2025 draft and free agency class, along with Titans head coach Brian Callahan, as well as takes your questions and more, thanks to Two Rivers Ford, Hattie B's, Monkey Shoulder Scotch Whiskey, Milagro Tequila, and Wholesale Supply. They're going to have to keep me from getting into the Milagro Tequila during the intermission.
I'm going to be on that Monkey Shoulder by the end of the night.
He's going to steal a monkey from the zoo and have it riding around on his shoulder. That's what it means.
I actually heard back about Ahi. I do not have a date to the install. She canceled on me.
Cheyenne, your girlfriend of many years at this point in time.
We're not doing this.
You informed her last night that you had plans that she was not invited to.
No,
I was there to witness this moment.
I told her it was sold out. Shut up. You're going to get me in trouble, dog.
Good. I'm not here to help you. I'm Team Cheyenne. I'm not Team Robert. Coming up next, how the Titans draft class stacks up with the rest of the AFC South. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, Nashville, Lucas here to tell you about the coolest spot in Music City. It is Fog Street Lawn Club, Nashville's premier soccer pub, your go-to spot to watch Nashville SC games, and it's open early for Premier League action, even those 6 a.m. kickoffs. But really, no matter the sport, great place to go watch that NBA, NHL playoff action going on for the next month or two. Fog Street Lawn Club makes sure you won't miss a moment and you will never get bored. Check out the rooftop, the most picture-perfect view